Thank you for being here today. Thank you.
So with that, hello everyone. Welcome back to Friends of Disney.
Where we're friends who talk about Disney.
Yes.
Today's movie is Princess Diaries.
You're really good at sounding really unenthused.
I just want to tell everyone that if I sound gross today, it's because I'm recovering from a cold. And so my throat, my nose just sound the fantasticest. Who wants to give a brief summary of what happens in Princess Diaries for those of people who have not seen it?
Girl,
Well,
high school.
Girl, high school. Her name is Mia Thermopolis, by the way.
yes. Mia Thermopolis, who is in high school in San Francisco, California.
Dreaded hills.
Yes, so like she dreaded going up hills with her best friend Lily, who also has a last name that I don't care about.
Lily Moskowitz. And her brother Michael, who has a crushy crush on Mia. And Mia all of a sudden got news that her grandma from Europe, who has never contacted their family, wants to have tea. All of a sudden. And this is her dad's mom, and her dad recently died a few months prior to the time of this movie.
Like 2 months, but who's counting?
And so Mia meets with this grandma, who is played by the amazing Julie Andrews, aka Mary Poppins, aka Maria from The Sound of Music, the queen herself.
Yes.
The puns. Julie Andrews plays Queen Clarisse and breaks the news to Mia that, oh yeah, by the way, you're a princess because your dad was going to be the king of the country of Genovia. And this whole movie is a major glow up and like coming of age story for Mia as she learns to be the princess that she can be, because the beginning of the movie shows her throwing up in her debate class of public speaking and her don't mix. Her expectation in life, at least to this point, was to be invisible.
And she was good at it.
And she was good at it. That is a quote from the movie.
Yes.
And so this movie is about her learning to be the princess that she can be and coping and managing the relationships around her that change with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a brief summary of the movie.
And at the end of the movie, because it's like the whole plot, is like, will she, won't she, like, become the princess of Genovia? Spoiler alert, she does.
Yes.
Because there's a Princess Diaries 2!
And a large desire from the fan base for a third.
Also, we should note this. This is Anne/Annie Hathaway's first movie.
Yeah, this was her first movie.
And she crushed it. Crushed it.
So first topic that I want to go on is at the beginning of the movie, Mia is bullied.
Hard.
Poor Mia.
I think that's why I loved this movie so much at first, is because I've been bullied most of my life.
Yeah, if you've seen our Zach and Cody episode, you know that we talked a good chunk about bullying in middle and high school. So we're going to continue that trend with Princess Diaries. We unintentionally did that.
I wish I would have done some of the stuff that Mia did, like especially with the ice cream.
Oh,
My God, I love that scene.
Because, I mean, at school, I used to be called fat as a JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
This was more like elementary. And then people also used to make fun of me because of my mom's behavior.
Yeah.
And then there was, like, also other things with more on my weight. And then other middle school and high school, so this is kind of funny, but we lost every basketball game in our season in middle school. And I was on that team, okay? But
Your high school was the Browns of the district?
everyone blamed me, though, for the team losing.
Why?
But
What do
there's
you have to do
more
with
than one person on your team?
Hmm?
But they're probably never going to watch this. But I was not one of the people who was hiding vodka in their water bottles
Ooh.
in 7th grade.
Oh, wait, big yikes.
And then in 8th grade, we lost every game too.
Not because of vodka.
Oh, jeez.
And then anytime we lost a game in volleyball, that got blamed on me. And I don't even know why.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Those are team efforts. Like, come on,
I mean, granted, I was not very good at basketball. The only advantage I had was I was tall.
To be fair, I'm not good at basketball, but for my own sake, I was like a basketball magnet. I kept getting hit in the face with it. So my PE teachers were like, Megan, you can go sit over there and read because we're afraid of you being trained bloody noses. And I was like, great.
Our very first basketball game, I definitely understand why we lost. Like, I didn't understand how blocking worked. Like, I never played basketball before in my life. This is 7th grade, okay? Like, people are now just entering sports in middle school. And we enter our first game, and we're doing great. And I'm like, I don't understand how blocking works. So I stand in front of the girl instead of, like, and she's like, right. So I'm like, blocking nothing. It's a hilarious moment for me to look back on, but like, yeah.
I get it. When I was a cheerleader, so I didn't really play basketball, but and so my back was always in the court. So when people were like, "Oh my gosh, she needs to block better," I just thought like they were thinking about blocks in the court and trying to be like, "Yes, this is where the boundaries are. Taking out block." Sorry.
With that though, where was your glow up phase from being bullied?
For me, I would say it happened when I entered high school. Like I would say middle school was more of when I was bullied. When I entered high school, my high school is an anomaly because the building itself, when they were first originally building it, because it was built in like the 70s, I think, they mixed up the building plans with a school down in California. And so, because we get a lot of rain in our state,
Yeah.
and so the school is actually designed for a California weathered school. It's an entirely like open campus. Every door to the classroom, the entrance is to the outside. So it's like all single level outside. You walk outside to get to your classes. And so it was pretty widespread, and everyone just kind of like lunchtime, everyone just kind of like scattered for the most part. And so I hung out with the band kids, so no really, I didn't receive any bullying. I was just band kids all the time. But middle school to high school, where my goal was, like even in high school pictures, you could see the difference between the sense of style, my ability to smile.
I didn't complain.
A real smile, yes, that is true. You can see the difference in my smile between meeting Megan and when I was prior to meeting Megan.
It's like someone was trying to teach an AI how to smile. When the back out was just like there's like something like not quite right about it.
Thanks, son. I'm not an AI. That's a figment of their imagination, I promise. But like,
Well, this has been really awkward then, because I married that human.
but I would say that's definitely where my glow up was, especially understanding like more of like my role in school and what I wanted to get out of school, and finding my people within band class and marching band and those curriculars I did. Words are hard, people. Words are hard. So for me, I feel like that's just where it kind of landed for me.
Okay, so I wasn't like bullied in school. I was bullied in church.
That makes me
In
sad.
church camps. And my glow up never happened. I got bullied from like basically middle school. Yep, my glow up is now. It happened yesterday. But no, from middle school to college, I went to like I was like in like our youth group because at least how my church worked. Like you have like the adult section, you have the kids, and then you have the youth section. All the youth around each other. And that was somewhere from middle school to high school. I was bullied. I entered into this into the same degree. For college, I went to college. I went to a theology degree, so I was studying Christianity. The same people who bullied me, they were in classes. They were the popular kids. Let me tell you, some of them like full rights to like Princeton and to Duke or like seminary, and I was a dropout because I was like, wow, maybe I'm an atheist instead of a Christian. But yeah, no. I guess when I left college, was yesterday.
The boys.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the Sweet Love and Zach Cody episode, but my blow up was when I moved to Spokane.
Oh yeah, we talked a lot about Rogers.
Yeah.
I still get the shock. Never think about it. It's like, wait, that exists in our city? And I didn't know about it. I grew up here.
Because in the previous town where they're like, not only was I like being picked on my weight or being picked on for not knowing how to play sports and being blamed for every game, but like, I'll just kind of do an example on camera. Like, girls guys would walk up behind me during school, yank my hair, kick the back of my knees. Yeah. And then also there was one kid in class and his father was our science teacher, but in math class we sat in alphabetical order by our last name. See, he sat in front of me. I don't know why this guy did it, but like every class period in math class, he would like sit up and fart in my face. Like full on put his in my face and fart.
Your teacher did nothing?
She had the room too early, not someone did it. And then also this was like in 8th grade when we like started experimenting with like, makeup or things like that. And like I wear light eyeshadow and then he would like spread rumors about that and then just like really horrible stuff. And yeah. And there was also a few other girls where they would corner me in school and tell me like to stop talking to their boyfriend and stuff like that. I literally only have class.
You're like, bro.
Like, granted, like you hear more like nice conversations, I guess. I don't know. I'm like, you're a friend, buddy. You're a friend. You're cool.
Bro,
You know what? Your girlfriend is that chick.
Oh my god.
I think it was the overall means.
I don't like your boyfriend.
And then like the other things that happened, and this happened all throughout in my movie Spokane was this is why I have a hard time looking people in the eye as well. I have times where there's some classes exactly or like looking at people because of how the classroom is. So some people are on the sides. My brain when I'm facing off, I like stare at a wall or something, you know, when you're trying to think the process.
Did you ever just stare at people like
Yeah.
through them?
Yes.
I was really staring at the wall. And then one of the girls comes up to me. She's like, I'm going to kick your ass if you keep staring at me. And then I just learned to like, keep my head down at all times. Like, until I moved to Spokane, everywhere I walked, my head was down, so I never looked at anyone in the eye. Because there was a lot of times where these girls were following me from class to class. And like, they did have intentions of hurting me.
That's so scary.
Welcome to small town, drug, alcohol, abuse, drama, upgrade, Kool-Aid. But glow up, back to the good part. Glow up was moving because no one knew me.
That's fair.
And I got to have a whole brand new start. And then the pure glow up.
Yeah, that's what we all meant, by the way. Just in case you were not making those connections, we all met in college. We all had the same friend group at the time. Fishbowl. I did not participate in the fishbowl. I was too busy running.
I think we covered this in another episode.
Our first episode.
scene out of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Back to the movie.
okay.
So, I got a question. So, on top of bullying, what do you think about Mia was the reason that she got bullied so bad? Like, we know at the beginning to be like, okay, her parents.
Girls are assholes.
That's it.
Okay, I agree. But let's think about it this way, okay? Her secret gets released. You know, she shows up at school, and all the press people are there.
She was getting bullied before that. Though.
She was. I'm bringing up the princess glow though because you see like the main boys, Anna Fontana, yeah,
Yeah.
and
The honest.
and like you feel like, oh yeah, like we're best friends and stuff like. They
They go
can have
shopping
every
together.
like they can have every intention of being nice to her just to try and get gain from her being a princess, but they still bullied her. So do you think it just purely is like they portrayed like, yeah, women are assholes, or like
I think they just purely. Well, at that point, they now notice that she has royal status, and then that's where envy comes in.
Oh yeah, envy and jealousy.
Yeah.
Definitely. Especially since more eyes are on her now.
Yeah. And so now they want to like try and tear down any part of her because like if there's, I also lived in Portland for a long time, and this is one thing that I remember because they taught us this in first grade at my elementary school, about bullies and what they try to accomplish. And most of the time, it's due to the fact that they have a lack of sense of control in their household due to either abuse or they're just lonely. So, like, they're not getting social skills. And so, a lot of these are kind of like lack of effort things.
I mean, we always hear like bullies are often bullied themselves.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know. Princess Diaries, as great of a movie as it is, and I love it. I don't know, like, it's really hard to say why they keep playing Mia. It just kind of just feels like they just needed like an antagonist for her at school, for her to not just be like thriving, you know?
yeah,
Like, I totally agree. When I was in the third grade, we basically had these skits that we had to do about being bullies. And I remember this very vividly because I had to play the bullies as someone who, like, would cry. Like, you hear me crying or, like, see me crying when Jonelle talks about her past bullying experience. As a kid, I cried when I stepped out of a ladybug, y'all. Like, I was a very sensitive child. Like, making fun of someone hurt. And so, where was I going with that? Like, yeah, we were taught that, like, bullies were missing something. And so they were trying to, like, gain it through interactions. Whether that be power, control, attention, pushing their own insecurities upon you.
And with these girls, like, you kind of later then see on that they're bullying her because they want power.
Oh, yeah. They want power. They want fame.
so
I want that power.
Okay.
we need to talk about the elephant in the room. You first.
Thank you. Okay. Listen, I'm going to put down my gauntlet right now. I totally think that Mia's friend Lily is a bully to her more than the bullies throughout the movie.
Oh, Lily's a bitch.
I cannot stand Lily in both the movies.
Oh, I
I
love
think
Lily.
she's just the worst friend
Okay.
ever.
Okay, we'll talk about the second movie because I disagree about the second movie.
I've also
Which
not
is
watched
very-
it in a few years. So.
But first movie, God, yeah, Lily is awful.
She is awful, but also I still love her.
I can't stand her. I've had lilies
Yeah.
in my life, and I'm like, bro, be happy for me.
What?
Okay, what do you love about Lily?
What makes you love Lily? Because she's an awful friend.
She is an awful friend,
She is an awful friend.
but she is kind of like blatant, like truthful about things.
I mean, I guess.
There's some points though where she is missing the aspects of Mia's point of view that shows that Lily is self-centered. That part I do not like.
The two parts that stand the most out to me and why I have such a hard time with Lily is first the scene when they're like walking up the hill and stuff, and she's talking about, oh yeah, my dad wants to take me out to dinner, just the two of us, and we ran out of things to talk about since I was 8. And Mia's like, yeah, but at least your dad's still alive. And she goes, what? I thought you were over that. It's been like 2 months. And it's like, okay,
Grieving is a process.
that is a process,
Yes.
and it is not a linear process.
I'm still grieving my dead fish Edgar. It's been 2 years. I miss him, okay?
I love Edgar. But like,
And I mean, I've never even met my father, and I still grieve him,
Mm-hmm.
knowing, like, because he died, and I never got to meet him.
yeah, and like in Mia's case, like she never got to meet her dad either, but nonetheless, he still
He sent her letters.
sent her letters,
Yeah,
Paid
paid
for
for
the tuition.
She had a picture of him.
like he was still in some degree like an important part of her life, even though she didn't get to meet and have that relationship. And Lily throwing that, being like, I thought you were over it. You've never met the guy. Like, F you too. I
Honestly,
understand. Like,
I get that a lot from people because when I do tell people about my father dying, they're just like, why are you grieving now? Because they're like, you've never met the man. He never even, like, my father didn't even go the extra mile to, like, try and send me letters or even try and call me. What he did is he kept going to the court to saying that he doesn't need to pay any more child support for me, and the court decided that he could only pay $50 a month, and that was good enough for a child.
That's
see,
No.
my response for if and when I ever have to be put in that position would be, because like I've said this, I'm in scrubs right now. I work in healthcare, so I have patients that are actively passing. I have sat with patients as they have passed. I have taken care of their family members while they're going through that process. And the most important thing, well, the one thing that everyone always says when someone passes is, oh, I wish I just spent more time with them, spend more time with them. Like, if you're having a Lily, it's like, you never even met him, well, it's like, if people are always saying, I never spent enough time, imagine never having a chance to spend time.
Yeah, and I mean that's something I live with because he never wanted to meet me, and I never got the chance.
Yeah.
And so for me, I had to give up that idea of that chance. It was letting go of the possibility.
And it's not even just like the possibility of your dad. I don't talk to my family. I don't know if I've mentioned it on this podcast, but like they are, as I am aware, dead to me. They're like probably out there living their best lives, but I don't talk to them. And I tell people when they ask me, like, oh, how's your family? I'm like, oh, well, I have a husband. Oh, how's your mom? Oh, she died. And it's not to like disrespect people like Jonelle, whose family actually died, but I think it's like a similar process where it's like I'm grieving not only the idea of them, but the idea of having a relationship with them. Like I can't just run home to see my mom and have a nice cooked meal because like that isn't safe. You can't go show up to your dad's house and be like, hey, I wanted to meet you. Like, I'm gonna have to pay that child support. I'm an adult, but like I wanted to at least meet you once. Like it's so much more than grieving a person. It's like
It's the idea.
It's the idea. It's like you, especially in a very like family motivated world where they're like, family is everything. Oh my goodness. And you're like, well, I'm missing a huge part of that. And people get mad at you for it. And you're like, there was literally nothing I could do. I was a child.
Yep.
And I understand.
No, you're fine. I'm not gonna. I'm just like I definitely don't feel the need to cry. I do remember the day when I was told that my father died. My father had died actually a month earlier. I was He died in December of, let's say, 2019.
No, I think it was just past COVID.
It was during COVID because I was working at the casino.
Yeah.
And I was working in Epic at the casino, and I was
It's a restaurant, by the way.
Yes.
Just for the record, for everyone who's listening.
And I was doing dishwashing that day because that's all I could do while jobs were scarce. Is they just kind of threw everyone in our kitchen into whatever kitchen in the casino, and you just did whatever work.
Yeah.
And so I was helping out with dishwashing that day, and I had my AirPod in, and then I got a call. So, I step out of the area, answer the call, and it's my father's social worker. And he says, "Hi, is this Jonelle Denschel?" And I was like, "Yes, this is her." And he was like, "Hello, I'm the social worker of Michael Davidson." And he's like, "I would like to inform you that your father has passed away." And on December blah blah. And I just remember sitting in Epic, and I instantly had an anxiety attack. And so I went out for a smoke break and started smoking because I was like, I don't know how to process this. And then my mom calls me, and she's like, "Hi, I just got the call from your father's social worker that your dad passed away. Are you okay?" I hung up on her. And one of the sous chefs came out, and I was now bawling in tears, screaming on the floor. And he's like, "You need to go home." And I'm like, "I need to finish my shift."
We've all been there. We have all been there.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "I just found out my father died." So then I go back into Epic, and I'm now in the office of Epic, and I am crying to the executive chef, not the current executive chef, because the prior one. Anyways, just crying to the prior one. And she was just like, "Go take bereavement." And I sat in my car for maybe the next 2 hours crying, and then drove myself home, and I stayed locked in my room for 3 days on bereavement leave. And then I showed up back to work.
Because you need to pay that rent, y'all.
I will say this time period also really sucked too, because a few weeks prior I was SA'd, and I was still healing from the physical pain of the SA. And so I felt like, life just hated me all of a sudden.
We're going to have to put some trigger points in this episode.
Yeah. Sorry, people.
Sorry, humans. We never know where these conversations are going to go. They're not scripted.
Yeah, this is completely off our own conversation.
But it also does, and I'm not really, it shows I've kind of moved forward in this process, though, the fact that I don't cry about it anymore. And
I'm about to cry.
therapy does wonders. Wonders.
Let's say, I'm really much, I have my usual headache when I'm holding back tears, kind of. I'm really passionate about end of life care and things like that. That's something I'm really harp on when I'm at work. So
I know, I'm going to get a lot of these lectures up.
But if you're at work and your family member dies, take bereavement leave. You don't need to tell your boss. Well, I mean,
you should tell your
you
boss.
should tell your boss, but realistically, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But do follow in on your company's bereavement policies. I do think they should add your pets and other family members that are not family members, but they are.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
Even beyond the basic nuclear family.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Anyways, the other part of Lily.
Oh my god.
I feel bad. He can really talk about
I was gonna go on a completely different tangent,
Go ahead. We're long past that conversation.
Perfect. All right. This is the one question I wanted to bring up, and this one's on a much happier note.
Okay, good.
Tell us your first foot popping kiss.
So, for reference, there is a scene in the movie where Mia is like
Talking with your mom.
talking with her mom and going to this beach party that her school is putting on, and she starts talking to her mom like, "Oh, I might actually get I'm like really make my flip flops," and her mom's like, "Flip flops?" He goes, "Yeah, like, you know how in old movies and like." When the main actress guy gets her first kiss, her foot just pops
Into the air. It's really
Yeah.
cute.
because she's going to like she has a date to this party with like this,
Guy I tried to crush on.
which the mom puts as a Backstreet Boy clone.
And it's accurate.
It's so accurate, and so yeah, flip flop and kiss.
I don't think I've ever had one.
Don't look at me like that,
I was
everyone.
referencing to your actual first kiss,
Oh, our first kiss? Oh, this is a funny ass
or
story.
just your general whoever
Okay.
your first kiss was.
Okay, I will tell this story. So
She's better at it than I.
yeah, okay, so I was living in a different dorm than he was at the time, which is like the same thing for the rest of our relationship. I don't know why I'm like, okay, but so like it was like later in the night, like maybe 9 o'clock, because I went to bed at like 8, so maybe it was 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I kind of started getting you to stay up a little bit later. I was a bad influence
Oh,
on
yeah.
you.
You stayed up all night, though. To be fair,
I went to bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock back in the day.
Yes.
meanwhile, we were driving around at like 1 a.m. in the snow, singing Star Wars, eating McChickens,
So
hanging out in the fishbowl.
at the time, we weren't even like dating yet. We were like in the in between where it's like we're more than friends. We're not boyfriend girlfriend yet, and so
It was a complicated time.
it was a complicated relationship. And so I remember like sitting on my bed, which was lofted by the way. So like I was taller than him. In real life, I'm much shorter. But I was taller than him, and I don't know how the conversation leads to this. But he was like, "You kiss me," and I was like, "Bet," and he was like, "Yeah, I know you." So I grabbed him like I don't know what this is called.
Called.
The collar of his shirt, pull him to me, kiss him, and shove him back. And he just gives me so aggressive. And he's like, "You will do it again." And I was like, I crawled over because like again, my bed is locked. So I crawl over to him, grab him by the collar, and kiss him, and I push him away. I'm like, "Okay, bye. See you tomorrow." And he was like, bright red, walked right out. And I'm pretty sure rooming in like a few minutes later. I was like, "What did you do to John?" And I kissed him. I went to bed. Good night.
For those who are watching the video on YouTube, I'm turned around right now.
He's blushing. A lot of people think that was some romantic. Because one is like a romantic guy. It was not.
I am a huge hopeless romantic.
I would say my first kiss was maybe more romantic side, I guess.
Oh, okay. My first kiss was with my. Okay, I thought 3 first kisses.
The first actual kiss, not a family member.
My first actual kiss was not a family member. Was my friend Noah. When we were like 2, we were singing at a Christmas concert. You grabbed my face and went mwah, in the middle of this Christmas concert, and then my cousin Aaron decked him in the face. They had to stop the whole Christmas concert because Noah was screaming. Aaron was laughing, and I was still singing "Mary Had a Little Lamb," not caring.
Oh my god, I just got the Christian context of that. Anyways, continue.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in a prior episode about how I got my first boyfriend on Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
I think you have. What episode was this?
I
This
don't
would have
remember.
been.
I'll give it a short
It was-
debrief.
It was a Cinderella episode.
It's a good thing I airdropped that then. Anyways, so if Cinderella episode will be out before this one. But in case you
Hopefully.
don't watch the Cinderella, or actually listen to the Cinderella
Go watch the
episode,
Cinderella episode. It's
Well-
a great episode.
but if you don't listen to it or watch it, short story. I went to 2 dances that night. There was a dance at my middle school, and then there was a dance in another town. I went to the first dance at my school, and then I went to the dance in this other town, and I also started my period this day, so
Oh.
it was pretty bad.
Oh.
And I didn't know I started my period either. But so I'm at the second dance and I see Steven, and I knew my mom had taught him, so I was just kind of like, oh, I kind of know you. And we start having a few slow dances together in a 2000s hip hop R&B dance thing. It was a weird night, let me tell you. And then he goes and talks to his friend, and then I go talk to my friend, and I'm just like, I'm so confused. I think he wants to kiss me, but I'm not too sure. But I really want to kiss this other guy.
It's such a Jonelle story.
This is such a Jonelle story. And the other guy had a girlfriend, so I was like, I can't kiss him because
boundaries.
he's with someone else. But he also then the other guy started dancing with me, and I was like, maybe I got a chance.
Oh no.
14-year-old me really playing games out here.
14-year-old me was sleeping at this point.
And then he stops dancing with me. Steven comes back in, and then Steven's like, do you want to kiss? And I'm like, sure. And so then his other friend's like, just kiss her. Just do it. And then we kiss. And then we do some more hip hop R&B slow dance.
Oh my gosh.
And then I realized I started my period shortly after that. Because my friend's like, hey, you got blood. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, anyone got a pad or tampon? No.
So brave.
Yeah, great night.
Fantastic.
And then Stephen pulls me back over into another area, and it was like, since we kissed, do you want to be my girlfriend? I said yes. Because I didn't understand how relationships work. So I got my first kiss and my first boyfriend on Valentine's Day. And then my mom found out a few weeks later because we went on a camping trip in Leavenworth. And me and my friend were in a lodge, and oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my eyes were like watering for no reason. So we were in a lodge, and then I'm telling Caitlin about my first kiss, and my mom's listening to the door. And then my mom barges in and she's like, you had your first kiss? And I'm like, yeah, Mom, I did. And she's like, I'm not happy with you, Missy. I'm like, okay.
I don't think my mom cared when I got my first kiss. I don't think I told
I
her.
was not allowed to have a boyfriend.
My mom tried to force me to get a boyfriend.
My parents had no care in the world.
Yeah, I was technically not allowed to date until I was 18.
I need to tell you my mom's dating world later. Because it's insane. Remember my mom's dating world?
Yeah.
So I really don't know what's going on. Okay, so this occasionally happens where my eyes just randomly start watering. I don't know.
get that.
Okay.
There's a certain character we're not doing justice. Julie Andrews! Mary Poppins herself, my all-time favorite actress, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's so iconic in this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
More in the second one.
like, even more so in the second one, but like, what do you think about her character, Queen Clarisse, her approach, like, her relationship with Mia was literally non-existent. Mia was very apprehensive about the relationship with the queen. She's like, she hasn't had no care about this family at all, and stuff like that. And so, how do you like? What are your guys' thoughts on the queen's approach to not just being a queen, training this next princess who would be the next ruler of the country, but also this grandma who has essentially neglected this grandchild her entire life, and just like seeing that relationship develop and everything. Like, what are your guys' thoughts? Because that is a major change.
Yeah.
I was so jealous of a child. I'm adopted. I just want to put it out there. It's like a trope in adoption stories where like there's this family member who not necessarily neglected you, but was like trying to find you or something, and then comes upon you and then showers you with like all the love, kindness, and grace, and I don't know, like all the good stuff. And I really loved those stories because like there was just something missing in my own life. I loved attaching like to those stories, and like just the love that Julie Andrews, so this character, had for Mia. It's so beautiful. How she, I don't know, she wanted Mia to be a princess, not because like it was like a checklist item, not because like Genovia needed it, because she really wanted to foster Mia. I'm gonna cry. I can't tell you how many times as a child I just dreamed of something similar happening. We like having relationships is so hard. Like we all neglect like talking to someone that we love for a long time, whether it's for like 3 minutes. I'm thinking about him. He won't text me back, and I'm like, Sean, where are my car keys? Or like I literally texted people I haven't talked to in a year, like a few weeks ago, and they all answered at the same time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I miss them, but they're all talking to me at once, and I can't handle it. I don't, especially with like the complex relationship between Mia, her grandma, her dad, and her mom before the dad died. I don't really blame her. Because she was just trying to keep Mia safe in a world that's like crazy. It's kind of similar to like Percy Jackson, where it's like once he finds out that he's like a demigod, it's like there's no going back. I don't know. I found it like I just don't know. I wouldn't say like wholesome, but very tender-hearted.
It was wholesome though. Like the scene towards the end where Julie Andrews, she puts this like crown on Mia's head after she said that she will become the princess. She's not going to abdicate her title. She will be the princess of Genovia. Julie Andrews' crown says, "This is my very first like tiara or crown or whatever." And Mia's like, "You had this already. How'd you know I show up?" And Julie Andrews is like, "Because like you remind me of someone else like I know." And just who is it? Me. And I can't help but see that, and I can't help but look past the character. It's like Julie Andrews is saying that to Anne Hathaway in her very first movie, and Julie Andrews is a legend. And so,
A Disney legend.
Like, can you imagine being told that by someone of that caliber? Like, to me, that was beyond the characters. And like, we see how big of a star Annie Hathaway is now. We keep going back and forth between Anne Hathaway and Anne Hathaway. Her real name is Annie. So, but like, I don't know. That moment is like, it has so much packed into it, and their relationship was like such a beautiful development. You know. You're so satisfied right now.
Sorry. Okay, so like it's also been a stressful week, but I am definitely paying attention. I just need
Hold on, there's a hair that's really
to see that there's multiple hairs. Hold on.
It's cats. I'm sorry, guys. We got a fidget over here, so I keep reaching for M&Ms, which is our snack for today because Michael loves M&Ms.
on pizza.
No pizza, but just the M&Ms.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, we had pizza for Zach and Cody, which is why we're not double dipping in pizza. We were also gonna have corn dogs, but I can't do them right now because I'm sick.
Recovering.
I was gonna go back on what you were saying though.
Mm-hmm.
The part that like kind of stood out to me the most during that whole thing is when she starts showing Mia that it's more of a job and changing her perspective on what holding the throne is like.
Which, sorry, you know, with that comment.
Oh, no, you're not.
Well, like, we all know Disney has a lot of princess movies. We've covered 2 of them already.
And we'll keep covering more until they stop coming.
Yep. And, you know, I think Julie Andrews in that scene did a real justice to all of those princess movies. Like she says, like, oh, most people think being a princess is marrying the prince and living happily ever after, wearing the pretty dress. And she's like, no, it's a real job. Like, like brought like this humanity back to all those princesses. Minus Sleeping Beauty, who suffered the whole film, but
Well, and then at the end, you also see Mia, and I don't remember the words exactly, but Mia then goes on to about like if how she's doing greater good for more than one person, and that's a much better use of her time. In short words.
yeah. Yeah. You have anything?
No, good.
Like what moment kind of stood out to you?
Okay.
Most?
It's so Mia takes her grandma to go see sightseeing, and there's a part where she has like this really old car. It's like main part of the movie. We're trying to get up this like really steep hill, and like I don't know, the brakes get out and they start going backwards something and I hit a trolley. And so there's like this whole scene where people are really mad at Mia for going into the trolley, and of course, Clarisse herself was saying, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Don't we have any diplomatic immunity here in the States? And they're like, well, yeah, you might have that, but she, the teenager, does not. So she, like, somehow turns this whole thing around and ends up denying to people, creating a whole night shift that does not exist. And makes everyone living in the situation feel so much better. With like Mia being way off, and I don't know. I think that's being a witness. You know, it's like taking a situation where like it could be really bad and turning it into something like,
Something special.
not only something special, but something where, like, everyone walks away safely.
What do you guys think of the stylist scene?
Oh my gosh, I remember the one it's like a movie with the moose.
I hate the silence himself. Like I hate that scene where he holds his hand out and has the wheel take off the rings. Like it's so much.
Yeah, I think he's a kind of a douche.
He's the one who got me. But I love the glow up scene. Like, it is like a pretty transformative like scene how you get to see her. So
I hate how he treats her in the process.
I old glasses and airbrush part that irritated me most.
Like, bro.
Some people, they just, like, especially if you have really irritative eyes, like, just like my glasses.
Right?
Listen to them.
I hate the trope. I hate it. Trope in movies, TV shows. K-pop people are like, oh my god, remove the glasses, and it will become prettier. Like, no. No, or when it's the opposite, when people wear glasses, they're like, oh my gosh, they so hot now. Like, well, the glasses just people see.
Well, and
It doesn't matter if they wear glasses or not.
it doesn't matter. Overall, yeah, it doesn't matter. However, I think that generally without glasses, some people their face, their eyes, and everything works. Some people generally let those glasses fit their face a little bit more. Some people,
It's me. I look greater with
yes, you are
glasses than I do
beautiful with glasses.
without them. Trust me.
But
That's fair. That's fair. Our face shapes are very different.
I'm just I think that must be more. I'm so used to seeing you without it, but
Yeah.
Still
but
not
like,
on glasses. I put my
like it varies on people's face. Like some people may think, no, I do look better with glasses versus without, and it varies person to person.
Sean would look ugly with glasses.
It's true, I would. Don't even. We can post a picture after this episode if you really want to see. But anyway,
Bother us in the comments below. Sean, wear glasses. Sean, wear glasses.
if this video manages to get, I'm gonna set a low bar and say 50 likes. I'll do a glasses picture. Keep in mind, I have no problems with my eyesight, so it will be a more or less
Fake glasses.
fake glasses or photoshopped. But
Well, I have glasses that are like basically like almost perfect vision, but they're more meant for sitting at the
computer.
Yeah.
Blue light glasses.
But
Yeah.
anyways, I think it's time for us to wrap up. So
But Mia got her foot pop and kiss at the very end.
Yay.
yes, thank you everyone for a lovely discussion on Princess Diaries.
I love how no one mentioned my crown the entire episode.
I love your crown so much. I didn't want to talk about it. Otherwise, it'd be ruined.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.